Okay. Let's have some fun, shall we? Maybe pick the light on. Feel a little better. Christ. Okay. Hopefully the sound's not too loud. If anyone pops in here while I'm doing this, you can let me know how the sound sounds. If anything sounds too messed up, then we'll try to fix it. But I don't know what I'm doing because I stink at this, but it's fun, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Sort of like drugs. Okay. I guess we'll start by saying if anyone catches it this early and you want to like participate in like some of the stuff I hope to do soon, join the Discord. It's completely free to join. And as once we hit 80, I think it'd be really cool if we could try to do some like higher level delves, mythics, maybe even try to get a cool casual raiding group going. Where like I don't care how many times we wipe, as long as we all have the same invested interest of trying to complete it. No matter how many times we wipe, eventually we'll get the mechanics and do it together. That's sort of the goal. So if you want to join the Discord, completely free to join. That's why I'm building it. But let's get into it.
Greetings.
I just did the solo scenario where feeling a little bit under the weather, so I'm drinking sodium-filled D8. Supposedly it's good for you. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. But I did the scenario where you're supposed to. I think it's a solo thing, or you can join it with a group and do it as 3 people. I did it solo with the NPCs, but it was a lot of fun. The transition from like the delves to the world, to the dungeons, back to the world, it feels very natural. Dragonflight felt, I was just saying this to my friend, but Dragonflight, the dungeons felt very wedged into the story. Didn't really make sense, didn't feel organic to go into the dungeons. And the story as a whole, like everything that happened felt forced, not as a result of a circumstance. I find in good storytelling, I don't find, this is true, good storytelling moves forward because there's no other option. The reason why parents always die in Disney movies is because the character doesn't have the comfort to go back to. They have nowhere to go but forward. They don't have a choice. Often, a main character's house or home will be burned to the ground. Gladiator, right? Russell Crowe has nothing to live for anymore. He only can move forward. Luke Skywalker, right? He had to leave his grandparents for a greater purpose. That call to action is what separates great stories from mediocre ones. And I felt that Dragonflight didn't have that call to action, but this expansion seems a little bit more stronger in that, where the call to action for us, for our characters, feels a little more organic and not so forced. And I love that so far. I feel really invested in the story. I think the characters are awesome. And the irony is, they're robots. So like they should be more mechanical and less like emotional. But I thought it was so funny that when you're taking I was gonna say a mammalian being, but I guess the dragons are reptilians. But like when you take something that's supposed to be alive and they still seem more vapid and dead inside than something that's supposed to be half mechanical, I thought that's a little bit ironic, but who knows? Maybe these conversations is why no one watches this. Alright, let's listen to the plan.
They want the cinder brew? I propose we let them have it, and then ignite it.
Now hold on! That will reduce my meadery to rubble!
I will see to its repair, Wenbrand. You have my word.
Fine. But if my stock is involved, then so am I.
Excellent.
Look how big I am. I'm almost the size of them. I'm a gigantic owl. That is insane. I never noticed that before. Holy moly.
Do you require aid?
We will take our stand in the Cinderbrew Meadery.
Fly high, strike true.
So this is another dungeon,
I have work.
I think. I think they're sending you into one dungeon right after the other.
Nerubians to the meadery.
And we will prepare a welcome for our guests.
That happened so fast that they're like, they want the meadery, we'll blow it up. And the guy's like, no, that's my life's work. You can't blow it up. It's like, relax, I'll help you repair it. It's like, alright. That was so fast. I was expecting a little bit more of a fight. He gave up on that real quick. Maybe he didn't have a choice. Maybe that's why. This is a dungeon, though. It's interesting. I wonder if that was intentional, the way it did that, where it sent me... I just literally did the rookery, I think it's called. And now I hand in this quest, and it's like, go to the meadery now. I guess it's interesting. It's just back-to-back dungeons. Unless this isn't a dungeon. Let's see. We'll use this mount. I have not used it yet, and it's really neat. It's gonna take a minute to get here, but not too long. But this right here is what I love about WoW. Following the paths, looking back and forth. Flying is convenient, but it kills a lot of what makes the game good for me. When I was playing Red Dead Redemption, I was so fascinated how they have fast travel in the game, but if you choose to go the slow way, the NPCs talk the entire time, and you learn so much lore. Alright, let's help this guy. I hate when this happens. I hate when... So I'm going to try to help this guy kill it so he can still loot it, because it is so AIDS. When I loot it, and then... when I go to fly down to grab an herb, and a mob attacks me, especially because I'm not the one that pulled it, someone else did, and they just let me get hits when they steal the herb. That's like, so shitty. So I tried to help that person kill it, hoping they had enough time to collect the herb. Looks like they did. I try not to be the thing that I hate in other players. I just saw a glyph. Glyph? Glyph. Okay. It's around here somewhere. I didn't see it, but I sensed it. So, let's fly up and look for it. Maybe we'll come back for this one. I haven't cheated yet and, like, used the add-ons, and I did it last time. Ooh, I keep hearing it. It's gotta be around here. Maybe it's hidden in the trees. Okay, it's gotta be around here. It keeps making that noise. But I haven't cheated because I thought it'd be fun to sort of, like, explore as they intended. But, we'll see. I haven't even tried the other zones yet. I feel like I'm getting close to the other zones, though, because it's throwing me through all the dungeons now, which I feel like is wrapping up the zone, and then we go to the next zone. But I'm not hearing that noise anymore, so maybe I went away from it now. Alright, we'll look for it later. I don't need it right now. Screw it. Dungeons, boring content. Oh, I keep hearing it. It's right there! Okay, one more check, and then we're calling it. Yeah, it's gotta be around here and here or something. I keep hearing that thing pop up. I don't see it, though. Weird. How weird. Alright. Screw it. Yeah, I hear you. I know you're around here. Probably in between the tree or something. Right in front of me. I don't see it, but we'll just do the dungeon. Okay. I should actually check to make sure this is working on my phone. Jesus, I usually do that. I don't trust myself. Ooh, we got hand of the quest. So is this like a dungeon, or is this gonna be like another solo thing?
It is my oath-sworn duty to protect.
All the little cakes would burn hotter than the... I see. So when you use it to burn it, just burn them alive. That's what the Wendbrandt's kegs are made out of. Stout and strong ironwood. They do not break or catch fire easily. Luckily, we can start a reaction from the inside if we lead fuses into each of them. I understand. So you're turning the whole thing into like a one giant bomb. You can blow up my life's work if it is our only choice, but I will not put my workers in danger. So that's what I was saying earlier. That like he was so cool. It's like, yeah, it's my life's work, but what are you gonna do? So you'll help me rebuild it, so blow it up. But I understand. He's like, we don't have any other choice. It's either they're gonna take it anyways, whether I choose to blow it up or they just destroy it. It's gonna happen anyway. So at least if I could take a bunch of them with me, I get it now. That makes more sense. This was the path we all chose, but I won't have them sacrifice themselves to fire and Nerubians for it. Tell them that. I said they need to get out of here immediately. And if a single one of them gets so much as chipped, the council will have a lot to answer for.
Are you sure
Well, he's a good guy.
work, Pilgrim?
Cares about his people.
It will. It has to.
Then let's get started.
So we're not even doing the meadery yet. We're up here first still. Alright. What do I do here? I guess up there, talk to this guy. Let's climb the ladder. I see. And then you attach it to that. I understand. Okay. So we can do this as cat. I don't think we're... Yeah, I don't think we're fighting anything here. Not yet, at least. Connect to that. I think there's an achievement for... I don't know what pets there are, but I think there's an achievement in every zone, or every expansion, when you /love a bunch of the critters. So I always just do it whenever time an expansion drops, because I never know what critters count and what critters don't count. We clicked it, right? Yep, I got the rope buff. There it is. I see it. I didn't see it before. Okay, one more. It's up here. I like how this game it's never cared to like show like animations of like climbing ladders and stuff. It's just like, yeah, let's jump up. Just jump up. Like, what's the point of the ladder even being there? One more. Okay, let's do it. So, now do we do the dungeon, I wonder? I feel like it's gonna be a cinematic.
Sorry. Hello.
The meteor is evacuated and the explosives are primed. It is time to bait the Nerubians into our trap. Your compatriot is the Nerubian burrow north of here. She told me her directives is to keep watch over it in case the Nerubians make a move. So far we have not made a move, and coaxing Cinder Brew to the burrow, tossing it, and there should stir the nest. I understand. So we want to get, so we're too tired of waiting for him, so we're gonna piss him off, I guess, to draw him here. Okay.
Set off the keg and hurry back to the mead yard. Then we will finish our...
We're almost trying to draw them out and then lead them here so we could try to group them up and blow them up. There was a movie like that, I thought, where it was zombies or something, where a person put like a bomb... Was it, I Am Legend, maybe? Or something else. I remember there's a movie where they had a really noisy bomb because it attracted the zombies. And it was beeping, beeping, beeping. The zombies were like piling on top, piling on top, piling on top. And then it exploded and killed the whole... And the person sacrificed themselves. I don't remember what movie it was, but
Return to the meadery. I'll lead them into the trap.
cool. Alright, let's boogaloo. That's a neat quest. Right. Okay, cinematic.
Are my guide.
Ooh, big guy. This is probably the dungeon. The Nerubians strike out in anger and pride. Oh, do they have pride? They will swarm the meadery soon, seeking to punish us for attacking their burrow. We will hold them here. While you take to the skies, appears to command his army. We'll light the fuses. We can use... Oh! Thank you for a follow. No way, dude. Thank you. We reached 10. That's sick, dude. Thanks, man. Holy moly. That was my goal, was reaching 10. Thank you so much. That's sick. Wow, that calls for celebration tonight. We'll have to do something special for the next stream. I appreciate that, man. I mean, this stream too would do something special, but I mean, like, I didn't prepare for that, I'll be honest with you.
Place our defenses in their path. The honey will slow them down, and the mead and pollen will help us tear through them.
Interesting. I always read what this stuff does. I know it's all just like damage, but I'm always just curious. Spill a puddle on the ground that will root them. Enemies walk over it. Place a vat of boiling cinder brew nearby. And place explosive pollen, causing the pollen to explode. Oh, it's all 1 second cooldown. Oh my god, it's just spam city. So, defense is placed. We just place it wherever we want. Doesn't matter. We can just do whatever we want. We can just have fun, I guess. Okay. You could just pick any of them and just say, screw it. Just watch all the different visuals, switch it up. Maybe? Or maybe I'm not understanding something here. We'll see. And then we'll add that to that. Oh, I added 2 of this. Goodness gracious. I meant to add something different that time. Oh well. That's okay.
Come,
Okay.
let us get you on a storm rook.
I appreciate that.
We will
I also
keep
try
them
to support
gathered
newer
with
streamers
care.
as well. I usually try to
Then
find
our
like 1 or
sword
2
will stop them from
viewer
getting
streamers.
past us.
And from wrecking my meadery before we do.
You stream as well? Huh. So we just, I see how it works. It's a bit of a passive quest, but that's okay. I don't mind this.
Failed them. They're chewing through the fuses.
I see right there. Got it.
We still have 2 fuses left. Keep fighting. Keep drawing them in.
Whoops, I should have focused on that a little bit faster than I did. That's okay. 67%. Am I supposed to be fighting them like over there? No. Holy moly.
No.
88.
Severed all of the fuses.
Stay focused. These monsters cannot leave here alive.
So, I guess it's intentional that they severed the fuses. I didn't know if I was actually supposed to protect it and I failed, but it seems like that's intentional. It's like when I first played Elden Ring. I'm sorry to hear that about the crappy internet. I dealt with that for a very large portion of my life, I'll be honest with you. That crappy computer and crappy internet. I can imagine how tough that
Can't
is.
ignite the kegs.
I must fulfill my edict.
What? Forget the edicts.
I cannot. That is why it must be me. You must guide the earthen.
Wow. It's a martyr.
One last ride, then you are free.
What a good guy.
Syrinx! My directive is to protect this isle and the earthen. All the earthen. Glory to the Titans!
Oh, look at that. Just, that's, well, what a way to go, man. Holy moly, dropping like Thor. Jeez Louise. Oh, I get it. Okay, so he did blow it up in the end. Pharaoh's pretty good so far. I was also playing a little bit of Bear to do one of the solo dungeons, but Pharaoh feels very tanky in the sense of like, I never feel like I'm dropping too low because I have a lot of self-healing now.
He's gone.
This,
But he's gone.
this one, these vines, whichever one were the vines, sorry. Bloodseeker vines, wherever Bloodseeker vines are, one of these abilities. Bloodseeker vines is very powerful. I know it's from maybe wild growth. Oh, I see. So it's this one, Thriving Growth. Thriving Growth gives you Bloodseeker vines. Bloodseeker vines seems to be pretty strong, and the healing you get from this seems to help as well. I've noticed that these hero talents sort of made Feral feel a little bit tankier in the sense of like self-sustainability.
Speak freely.
It's hard to say on the damage because I'm really liking the hero talents for my main class. What classes are you playing?
Conversation terminated.
Something I've noticed with Zex Pack is some of the storylines are a little bit more like adult in themes. They're dealing with things like sort of like death, losing a loved one, like the one guy had like Alzheimer's, just like trauma from like seeing your loved ones die. Like WoW used to deal with like heavier subjects like that, but more recent X packs they sort of went a little bit more fluff with the storyline. But this X pack seems to be a little bit more adult in themes, a little bit heavier. It's almost like, in my opinion, they're respecting the audience. They don't think the audience is too dumb to get the story, so they're not spoon-feeding it as much, and they're allowing us to sort of discover it ourselves. Druid, Warrior, and Hunter. Wow. So my friend plays Hunters, and he says Survival is crazy strong right now. And I don't play Hunters very often, but he actually stopped playing all of his other mains to main as Survival, at least for the time being, because of how powerful it was. Boomkin, very nice. Boomkin seems to be one of the most popular druid specs from what I see. When I run a lot of Mythic Pluses, so it's always Boomy, and the Boomy's always top DPS. And in PvP too, they're just a nightmare to fight against because they're so powerful. I don't know how they are in this expansion, but generally, from my experience with them, they've always been pretty powerful.
I will answer your queries. Baelgrim and I were rivals.
Something I found that was strange about
at the same time.
bear form guardian is that you sort of there's a town where they sort of want you to like switch to cat weave, which I thought was sort of strange.
Who had the Titans favored more? But we were like two rams in a yoke, pulling together. Him with his stone rooks, me with my quarry and forge. Dornegal needed us both in equal measure. But it all started to fall apart. The core way, the archive. There began a time of despair as we pieced everything together. I saw.
Oh my gosh, just keeps going.
People, and so did Baelgrim. My logic
I thought she was done.
led me away from the Titans. His said we needed them more than ever. I thought he would never forgive me for leaving him alone, yoked to Dornegal. But in the end, if the both of us weren't so thick-headed, I can't help but think we could have avoided his fate.
She's still going? Jen?
Dornegal
Oh my goodness.
has lost its protector,
Okay,
and I've lost a friend.
yeah. So what's interesting is my understanding is before the cat weaving, or like if that's what you want to call it or whatever, there was boomkin weaving. I know a lot of like guardian druids. They would like pop in and out of boomkin for like extra DPS sometimes. I never personally did it. I also never played super competitively, but I know it was a popular way to play the game. It just felt a little too cumbersome for me. I felt safer popping out of bear form felt a little bit sketch. But what I thought was interesting about yeah, the story is absolutely incredible. I absolutely agree with that. What I thought was interesting about the cat weaving though is I don't remember off by heart, but I believe when I was looking at it, I think it said damage when you pop into cat form for cat weaving. You still retain some of the armor and I think damage reduction that you had in bear, so it makes it a little bit safer to do, which is I thought was a good choice. But the main benefit I thought of the cat weaving personally, and this is somewhere where I struggled often when tanking as a bear, is if you need to get out of something quickly. I have my sprint hotkeyed, so if I'm bear, I could hotkey right to sprint, and it kicks me into cat, and I'm able to get out. But while I'm trying to get out of the mechanic, and it kicks me into cat, usually I'm getting hit, like I'm in cat form, because I am in cat form. So to have the damage reduction, when I switch to cat from bear, just to get out of a mechanic, greatly helps tanking. I can see that they want you to stay in cat a little bit longer, not just to get out of mechanics. That's why there's a damage bonus for the rip and the bite, which is a bit strange, but maybe I just need to learn how to play like a cat weaving guardian druid now. The story is brilliant though. I am really enjoying it. My friend who had early access was playing a little bit earlier than me. Another glyph, huh? And he said that it was one of the best stories he's ever played. He beat the whole campaign already, and he said it was like it's absolutely incredible. So I'm really excited to see what more there is to unlock. But I've been waiting to do it on stream, mostly because I thought it would be fun to like sort of discover it and not react. Like I don't want to per se. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I figured if I were to get my reaction for the first time, it'd be cool if I maybe did it with people that were also experiencing it. Maybe we could share it the same way I would watch streamers play games. I guess that's my justification. If I'm gonna experience it anyways, why not record it? That way, if someone's not at that point or someone just wants to experience it with me, they could do it. So I've sort of been doing some of the side quests when I'm not streaming, so the more important main story stuff I could save for the stream. So do we do the delve now, or should we do the main story? I guess we'll do the main story. So have you played all the previous expansions, or are you newer to WoW?
I see you return alone, Outlander. I presume not all went well. Conversation initiated. Go where the edicts lead.
We've heard the echo of the explosion from here. I presume you have found victory, but your solitary arrival suggests not all is well.
The eternal title. Tell me what has happened. Council Ward. We...
Loving the delves. Cool, I'm thrilled. I'm excited to see it. Like, I'm hoping to... I have a little bit of time now, so I'm hoping to, like, sort of binge it a little bit, get a bunch of the storyline done now. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting outside, so nothing to do but game, really. Yeah, let's listen now.
Go where you will. We have repelled the Nerubians, but Baelgrim is gone.
Wow, you played for a while.
I see. So he fulfilled his edict.
Not just that, he defended the Earthen, both the Oathsworn and the Unbound.
True. I'd say the way that you played the game is almost the best way to play the game, because you skipped, in my opinion, one of the worst expansions the game has ever had.
We will honor his memory by doing so.
I thought Legion was brilliant, Shadowlands was a disaster.
It will take time to fully repair the Coreway, but the Outlanders can descend to the Ringing Deeps. The
Next
Earthen
zone.
of the Isle of Dorn will
Yeah, and you missed
support
BFA as
their
well, which also I
endeavor,
didn't think was very good.
no matter what the edicts say. If we can bring the machine speakers back into the fold as well, then the Council will truly stand complete.
Thank you, Council Ward. Now, let's clear the last of that rubble.
So, just to confirm... So why do they want me to go to the Ringing Deeps? It will take time to fully repair the Coreway. The Outlanders can descend to the Ringing Deeps. Why do they want me to go in there? That's what's not clear.
Very good to meet you.
Yeah, like BFA was a disaster, but Shadowlands was even more of a disaster. It felt like they called both expansions in. BFA, there was a little bit of effort, but by the time Shadowlands came out, like the story was so all over the place. Things were, I mean, I think they retconned things at that point, because after Shadowlands came out, so much of the story didn't make sense. And I think they realized they wrote themselves into a corner, and they started making characters make weird decisions they'd never make. And characters just like flip-flopped on who they were. They became evil all of a sudden, like Sylvanas. People were like, what was that all about? Her whole thing was like about not being mind-controlled, or not wanting to be controlled by the Lich King, so she rebelled. And she's trying to get all the undead to have autonomy, so they have freedom of choice. So it was weird that she then wanted to like control everything. The whole thing was strange. But it seems like this expansion, they sort of reeled back on all that insanity. And they're like, alright, we're just going to retcon it like it never happened, and we'll just try to start fresh and sort of clean slate, and it seems like they're getting closer to like what WoW used to be. Like Legion, I thought, was one of the best expansions. It was so brilliant. The Mage Tower I loved. The class identity was brilliant. The storytelling of the artifact weapons. It sort of had a little bit of everything. I felt it did such a good job where everybody felt represented as their class, which I think is a huge part of WoW. I think representation in WoW is huge, because you want to be able to feel like the role that you're playing. If you're the tank, you want to feel like you're protecting the group. If you're the healer, you want to feel like you're the backbone of the group. And if you're a warlock, I think it's cool to sort of feel a little bit evil, to maybe sometimes like sacrifice a friend to summon a demon. That's sort of a cool concept. And to have a warlock hangout place where you and the other warlocks can hang out, that's just for warlocks, or to have a shady like bar area for the rogues. It sort of helped that class identity. Like, all right, raider friends, I'm gonna go buy druids. I'm gonna go hang out with my rogue friends in my rogue-only area. I don't know. I thought that really solidified, like, only the rogues know of this like sketchy bar under Dalaran where like illegal gambling and all kinds of other stuff goes on. I thought that was really cool for like class identity. So we did the whole first zone.
I will accompany you to the ringing deeps. It is my home, and it too may need defending.
For sure. No, like I'm not super, I don't have super like encyclopedic knowledge of the lore, but just, it seems everything felt very wedged. Nothing really made sense. Anduin disappeared for a while, and a lot of decisions Sylvanas made, they said in the end she made because she was mind controlled, which is sort of like, to me it feels like it was all a dream. It feels like all this stuff happened, we don't know how to justify it, so the whole thing actually didn't happen. Sylvanas woke up and it was just a bad dream. Like, that seems like cheating a little bit, but it's fine. Like, I'd rather just say, you know what, let's just wipe the slate clean, not remember any of that, because it did suck. And I'd rather just, like, say, okay, it did suck, but, like, whatever, we'll just wipe the slate clean and start fresh, because it's better to start fresh and trying to right yourself out of that abomination. Onwards and downwards it is then. We'd best follow after Speaker Brinth, I'm not saying how to say that name, I'm too dumb, and see what state of Nerubians have left for Homan. I see. Magni will accompany you down in due time. Would you mind roving? I've never heard of roving ahead and making sure there's a warm welcome attending us.
If you need anything,
Fun.
let me know.
We will find Zalatath.
A lulled false sense of victory. Yeah, so I don't know what, as long as the schemes in the shadows are safely secured here. Let's listen what she says.
Valyria, I heard you helped corner Xerix at the meadery. Thank you.
Anduin's looking great, by the way. I love the new Anduin.
I will not let them do the same to the Earthen.
They've been good allies and gracious hosts.
A welcome surprise, given that they've been living in isolation for thousands of years.
That may not entirely be the case.
Right, the Arathi or
I
whatever.
asked about why they keep calling me Arathi. And apparently an Arathi armada arrived on Kazalgar a number of years ago.
And I don't know too much about
They're said
that,
to
the
have formed
Arathi,
a
but
settlement in the caverns beneath the island. It sounds impossible. But if it's true, I want to see it for myself. They could prove to be allies in our fight against Zalatath.
No. We've secured a measure of safety here. Don't abandon it to chase shadows in the dark.
Isn't that what you're doing?
I'm doing what I
he
must.
called her out.
Hunting down every last Nerubian. Following their trail back to Zalatath. And claiming vengeance for our dead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to...
Remain in Dornagal, Anduin. Leave the shadows to me.
Oh man, she put him in his place. Oh wow, you have all the novels. Yeah, I read one of the novels. I think The Day of the Dragon or something. I really enjoyed that. The lore of WoW is like, it's unbelievable. I think that's why a lot of people fell in love with it. That's why I think when like Shadowlands did what it did, I think it really rubbed people the wrong way, because the game established such a strong foundation of like well-developed lore that it felt like Shadowlands almost undid a lot of that, which is why I think they sort of said we'll retcon it like it never happened. Am I gonna... Let's drop and see if we just... Well, I guess if we're on a mount we should be okay. We're not gonna die, so... But I wonder if that means... What's this? Yeah, okay. I wonder if you can fall without dying. Whoa. Please take me to the top. Oh. Holy moly. This is all the way... Holy... How far down does this thing go? Oh my god, man. And it just keeps going. And it just keeps going. Wow, look at that.
Speaker Bryn, the High Speaker, has the situation under control.
Under control? The station is in ruins. What is your query?
I bet that's a mount. I bet that's gonna be a mount. By the Titans, it looks like the Nerubians did number on our station, but I see no spidery fiends.
I will ensure your name is in the archive.
Machine speakers are clearly not faring well here. Does the High Speaker know about this? A devastating combination. Yeah, it's true. Sabotage and negligence. Often negligence is the biggest downfall. We need to get to the station up and running as soon as possible. I see. So it's a way to communicate between the above and below. So we need to fix that station so we can keep communications up. That's fun. Help our injured workers, collect any salvageable cargo, and restore safety. So we're just cleaning up the station. Cool.
If Uzjax won't aid the injured, then we will.
Oh, it's supposed to be a mount. Sick. For sure. So that was a big fear of mine, is like... I didn't like the idea of underground, because it feels very claustrophobic. Not that like I literally feel claustrophobia being in an underground in a game, but just... It just feels like depressing for it to be dark and underground. I didn't really love like the Niffin area, which in Dragonflight, I'm not sure if you played it. That whole thing was like underground. It's Derelict Cavern or something like that, I think. But I'm hoping this is going to feel a little bit more open, even though it's underground. And based like on you said the sizes, I'm hoping it'll sort of help with that. The first zone was pretty big and open, which I thought was pretty cool. One of the larger minecarts has derailed. It's blocking the station's main junction. The function is suboptimal. Our workers aren't working. Could you go and get us back on track? Literally get us back on track, and figuratively. Oh, I see you're made of flesh and bone. I don't want you to get crushed. Fair. I appreciate that. Alright.
Timely intervention. I declare my gratitude.
Oh, so we're just a little bit of everything. A little bit of helping, a little bit of waking people up, a little bit of fighting. Cool. I'm happy to hear it's better than the other, than Serelect. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but...
Others. I'm functional.
Yeah, like, this is all I want to see. A little bit of greenery. Like, this makes it feel like it's not so underground, in my opinion. If there's a little bit of, like, greenery, you know, it doesn't feel so dark and dingy. The one thing I liked about Dragonflight, the zones are pretty good, especially Azurspan. Azurspan, I liked the trees, being able to fly between the trees. Felt pretty cool when you're like speeding and you're like weaving between the trees. You could fly above them too, but I used to weave between them because it just felt very like immersive and exciting. Sort of like Star Wars. Okay, so I see we just have to help him, just kill him.
Please proceed.
So let's go for that mine really quick. Right there? That's not it, it's right there, I see. Oh, is this a different kind now? Well, maybe I've done that one before. Leveling seems to be pretty quick. I'm not trying very hard to level, and I just seem to be passively leveling, so...
I'm
I think the mining and herbalism along the way sort of supplemented a little bit extra XP, but I haven't really been concerned with like trying to hit 80 and just going through the quests. I'm already 76. Wait till you get cool. I'm excited. Probably be long 80 by then. Usually I found I don't skip all the quests just to do the main storyline. If there's like a side quest along with the main storyline, I'll do both, and generally that gets me to 80 long before I complete all the zones.
Give me a moment. Regaining strength.
A garden? Here? Does the High Speaker know?
Garden, I wonder what that is.
That is not your concern. We do as he commands.
Thank you for getting on their feet. You've restored order, or at least enough. Best way to impress Foreman. I see, okay. Tread carefully. He's loyal to the powers that be. Okay.
Conversation
I'm seeing legitimate concerns. We have to do something about the Nerubians, even if the High Speaker won't. The High Speaker sent to the surface because I wasn't reasonable, I see. Okay.
Back to work.
I think she's sick. I hope, I was 76 before I left Dornegal, because I did all the side, yeah. I see. Well, that's a pretty good plan, I mean. That makes sense.
May your cause.
Oh, cinematic. Wasn't expecting that. Sick. Jesus, I'm big. They do look sick. I wasn't thrilled about another dwarf race, I'll be honest with you, but as far as dwarfs go, they look a little bit different enough. So they're pretty cool.
This is the realm of the machine. And I am the High Speaker. And who is this? Brynth? I almost forgot I sent you away.
I love her back piece. Like the Doc
I've
Ock
been busy addressing our
tentacles is
greatest
sick.
problem, the awakening machine. What distractions have you brought before me this time, Prince?
These outlanders crashed on our shores.
I have no time for your misadventures.
High Speaker, the Nerubians.
Enough! Outlanders, you may wander where you will. But when you are done, return from whence you came. The High Speaker has spoken!
He seems like he'll be a fun character. A little bit full of himself. Yeah, I think a lot of people, that's so dramatic. I love how dramatic he is. That's so funny. It seems like a lot of people weren't on board for the dwarves. I think just because we've got so many like reskins of the same race, and like I think when when BFA came out, I'm not sure how familiar you are with any of the zones of Battle for Azeroth, but there was a zone called, it wasn't the Drustvar one, Voldun. I think it was called Voldun, something like that. And it's where the Volpera are from, but there was also another race called like Sethralek, or something along those lines, I thought. These like snake humanoid men. And when everybody saw the models at first, they're like, we hope this is a race. Like, this looks like nothing else in the game. They're so unique, they look cool. They were like these like half reptile people. They got like a king cobra kind of face. But we never got them. And people were a little bit disappointed because I guess they felt that a lot of the races we did get were sort of reskins of races we already have, when they could have given us something so unique. I would have loved, man, I would have played the hell out of Snake Men. Like, that idea of just like a snake-human hybrid kind of thing looks so cool. But I have a suspicion that they have things up their sleeve. Like, I expect, as sales dip a bit, as the expansion levels off, like all things do, you know, when something first comes out, it's a lot of hype, and then it starts to level off. But I feel like they have things in their back pocket as things start to level off to introduce, to try to get people to come back. Whether it's unlocking more races or more classes for different races. I think something that would really excite people is new druids. Even though there's already a lot of druid representation, I think if you add more druids, then you get more unique forms, and I think that is very exciting for a lot of people. whether it's like gnome druids or whatever else druids. Not that all classes aren't exciting. Warlocks are exciting across the board. Everybody can be a warlock now. But a warlock's a warlock's a warlock. But like a high mountain druid looks very different than like a Coltiran druid. So I think people would be really excited for like what would a human druid look like? What would like a gnome druid, an undead druid be crazy? Like rotting cats? That's sick. But I don't know the infrastructure that would be involved in something like that. But I mean, God, I would play an undead druid so fast, it's not even funny. I know from a lore perspective, it makes no sense. I'm sure, but who knows? Can we believe how much exists in the depths here? The machine speakers were telling me of problems they're having over at a place called the Waterworks. Sounds like the kobolds are making trouble again.
Travel safe.
Cool. This is a very large zone. Oh, and the other zones are here. Interesting. So the zones are attached to this zone. That's cool. So there's 4 zones total. I didn't realize that the whole thing is underground. Wow. That's true. You're right. The Drakthir are getting more classes in the 20th anniversary update. Oh, right. I did hear that they're getting more classes. I forgot about that. I wasn't huge on Drakthir just because, and I love like lizards and stuff, but I didn't like that like when you click their transmog thing, there's like next to no options. I'm very visual. I farm a lot of like visual stuff, and I really like customizing my characters. So like I also like the idea of mechanomes, but again, the transmog options feel so limited that it sort of stopped me from wanting to play it seriously. So solve some of the challenge here. We can convince the machine speakers to help against the Nerubians. Okay, so this place has their own problems going on. They can't help us with the Nerubians, but if we can help them deal with their problems, then we can use them to fight the Nerubians. That makes sense. And she used to live here, but she's an outcast because she disagreed with the High Speaker. And she's losing, I guess her race is losing people because I guess they can't repair themselves and they're just shutting down. I see. So it's a race against time. They'll be shut down forever. Interesting. And it's fascinating how this whole time they've always just had duties and they haven't questioned their orders. They always just follow orders, but now they're starting to question their orders. They're starting to have a little bit more autonomy. It's interesting. The new classes are... Oh! That's really cool. That's really cool. I like that idea. So that certainly helps with the transmog thing then, because the human form does look sick, but you very rarely get to see it, because I feel like more of the time than not, you're probably fighting.
You are acknowledged.
Brilliant.
Speaker acknowledged. Thank the Titans you're here. We lose more of our kin with each passing shift.
Jeez. I wonder if these guys... I wonder what the racial trait these guys will have, because the gnomes already have plus to engineering. But it would make sense that these guys had plus to engineering. I mean, but they'll have to have something else, I'm sure. I'm sure they will also won't have engineering.
Tend to idle all day.
So I'm excited to see then what the Drakthir... Did they already say what the Drakthir can be? Or do we not know that yet? For every plaque on this lit, another earthen has shut down. I see.
I speak of Bryn, you've returned. Unlike the missing shipments from Taylok and its foreman.
Taylok. Alright, you gotta go to Taylok, I get it.
Do you need something?
Proposition, rowdy patrons. Usually I'd give them a considerate knock upside the head. Get those brass knuckles.
Return once more.
Ooh, there's a treasure chest in here. How do we get that? Hunter, rogue, priest, mage, warrior, or warlock. That's interesting. I wonder what the rogue and the warrior animations will be like. I'm sure, like, as a human, the visage is sort of like a blood elf or a human. I think they're like blood elves, if I remember correctly. Their animations. But I wonder what the dragon animations will be for like a melee class, because they're mostly casters now, I think. Rough shard. Wow, that's a lot of shards. Okay. Yeah, it'd be cool. Like, I mean, it's interesting. I wonder how they have wings. I'm curious to see how they look in with big weapons, big bulky weapons. Warrior would be very interesting. I think Warrior would be the most interesting from a visual standpoint, at least. I'm just curious. And I'm curious what their stealth animations look like. I did see one flying manually.
Initiated.
Back to druids, though. For sure. For sure, man. Oh my god. Like, the idea of druids, especially for some of the cooler races, not cooler races, who might say what's a cool race, but like, I think the idea of like a rotting druid is sort of cool. And almost like their healing could be, instead of like nature damage, you could almost do like disease, like pestilence, instead of like nature damage, maybe. It's similar to like an Unholy Death Knight. Like, it's the same concept, it'd still be wrath, but like, lore-wise, or thematically, I guess you could justify it as saying like, these druids like learned about like the cycle of life, which also includes like death and decay, something like that. That's a part of life, right? Like decomposition and that stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's a bad take. I don't know. Just the idea of leather undead druids that are like, I don't know. It just sounds sick. I love undead so much. You received the documents you left and would like to discuss the Steel Vein situation. Okay. Do you prefer Horde or Alliance, or do you play both?
Make it quick. We're busy. Praise the machine. It's Bryn. Are you here to deal with the kobold raids? The High Speaker won't lift a finger to help.
Fair, same. Yeah, I played Alliance for most of the time. That's why it's actually Nolly the Gnome. I only played Gnomes forever, and that's because I played with my friends. But then as I got older and life took over, and I couldn't raid as much, work, school, stuff like that, I started playing more solo. I always preferred, I always played a Warlock. So I always loved Undead Warlocks, but I played a Gnome because all my friends were Alliance, and I wanted to play with them. But as I started playing alone, those are weird looking pets, I made an Undead Lock, and I just started playing all Horde. And then you could cross-faction play, so I just stayed Horde. But I still do have Alliance, but there's really not much reason for me to play it because I can still play with my friends on the characters that I prefer, so it's... I love it. I love that they allow that now.
So this awakening machine is what recharges the earthen.
Yes, but it has been broken for millennia. That is why our numbers are dwindling.
So right there, those two sentences. So this awakening machine is what recharges the earthen? And she's like, yes, that's why our numbers are dwindling. So that, those 2 or like 4 sentences summarize this whole zone. And I was getting lost in the weeds. So the fact that they just did that sort of reinforced what we're doing here. And that was clearly intentional. And I think that's so brilliant. Whoever designed that. Say, we know there's a lot going on. We're just going to give you a quick reminder of what this zone is about and what the intention is behind the storytelling of the zone. That's something I didn't see in the past 3 expansions, I would say. Not as strong as they've done it here. They did it in the last zone, and they've also done it here now. And I think those little subtle reminders that don't feel... It felt casual. It felt natural for that conversation to happen. But it still explained it to me. With friends, like you said, life happens. I took a long break. Now solo play. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Fair enough. If you come back, I mean, you're always welcome, but you don't have to right now because I don't want to pressure you. But I'm trying. The whole point of streaming is I'm trying to slowly build a community where we could run stuff, just casual people like that have no pressure to like worry about failing or learning a new class. So if you have any interest, the Discord's always free. And if you come back at a later date and you are still interested, you're welcome to join whenever. I'm hoping to eventually build it up to enough people where we can maybe get some raids or transmog runs, stuff like that going. That's all. But something that's fascinating in writing or storytelling is when you're watching a movie, especially like sci-fi, and the average audience, myself included, just does not understand like space or engineering or like traveling in space or anything of the sorts. There's always one dumb character that says something like filling too much air in a balloon, because when they're all talking, their science talk, we don't understand what they're saying. So you need the dumb character who essentially is us, so they can say, yes, it's like filling too much air in a balloon, because otherwise we get lost in the mix. We want to hear the science talk, but at the same time, we also need a way to bridge the gap so we can understand what's happening in the story without it being so obvious that they're explaining to the audience. And that's what I felt they just did here. They were able to explain the story to the audience in a way that didn't feel like they were breaking the fourth wall. And I thought that was just brilliantly done.
Back to work. Moira, please continue speaking to the citizens here.
Oh, that's sick.
I'd like your help with this kobold problem.
The mountain lends us its strength.
It felt like last X-Pack and BFA and Shadowlands all felt like they broke the fourth wall a lot, or they just didn't explain what was happening. The story was all over the place. But here it seems really woven through everything, and they always give you subtle reminders and hints of like, just in case you forgot why we're doing this, this is why. But it always felt natural so far, and it's keeping me really engaged. I'm really excited to find out what happens next.
Another interruption?
The humming melody of the machines is changing, and I must admit I am not ready. For so many years, I served faithfully, and then the important thing is I'm ready to get to work again. Oh no, you can keep an eye out for them. Would you bring them back to me? Yes, sir. Let's get you your trusty tools. How did they get buried? Wow, there's so much going on. There's another quest to pick up still. I guess this is the main hub for this area. It's very overwhelming. Oh man, don't get me started on professions. I have not touched professions since last X-Pack. I had a little bit of profession going. It's so confusing. It's too clunky for me. I don't personally like it. Some of my friends think it's better, but it was one of those things, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and, like, why are we changing it? Are we making it better by changing it? And I felt it just became more cumbersome, personally. There's all kinds of strange systems added, mechanics and stuff, and it's just, like, I don't know. That's not for me, personally, but if people like it, I guess. You look like you've killed a few rare beasts in your time. Care to add another to the list? Sure. This is like a stone bat. That's cool. So do you have any goals for this expansion so far? Yeah, I like old school as well. I prefer, like, old school professions were simple, simplistic, it made sense. There's nothing wrong with them. Okay, so what do we have to do here? Find the brass knuckles. They could be, like, anywhere? I'm sure something we were gonna kill that's gonna drop it. Or maybe not, but... Is it? Oh, right there. Whoops. Okay. Is it? When I played Classic, I felt that the professions were a little bit tough to get through, but I felt like before they changed it in Dragonflight, like when it existed in Legion, I felt like it was pretty good. I didn't mind that you could upgrade the skills to reduce the cost of like making potions. You need less herbs to make potions, or it procs more if you have more stars. If you have like a recipe level 2 or recipe level 3, I thought that was a cool idea. But after that, it started feeling a little bit too cumbersome. Yeah, so like that's the thing. Like, you say you're not ready for mythics, but my goal would be to like try to get a bunch of people that also feel the same way. And it's like, who cares about the timer? If we all got like an hour or two, ignore the timer on your right hand side. Let's just try to learn the mechanics, and if we'll get it done, you'll still get loot at the end. So let's just take our time. We'll like have fun. Someone's got an AFK to like deal with their cat or go to the bathroom. Like, I don't really care. The main goal is to have fun, and I think if you can go in with that mentality, then like it's not so scary because everybody has the same goal in mind, and in the end, everybody gets loot. This brass knuckle thing is throwing me through a loop. I gotta read the quest. Kill creatures. Okay, I'm so dumb. That's why I couldn't find it. Alright, let's fly out of here, and oh, there's one more quest I don't have. Home is where the candle is. Let's get that quest. I'm sitting here talking so damn much, I'm just not doing anything. Is it in here? Where is this quest? Not in there. In there. Gotta get in there. Okay. Right here. We're on top. It's in this area. It must be in one of these homes or something. I'm just gonna quickly Google it so I'm not running around looking for a quest that's probably like above my head or something. This is where it just came from. Yeah, so it's not here. Maybe I can't get the quest yet. This is called... Oh, it's to my right. Home is where the candle is. I see. Around here? Oh, rare spawn. Let's get the rare, and then I'll look for that candle quest. Oh, what a strange looking... What a strange looking... thing. See, like, I just topped myself up with a heal, now I already have another heal. Like, you gain the regrowth heal so fast. It feels like, for most things, you're generally pretty strong as a feral. Whoa, that is a ginormous upgrade. Holy moly. Alright, home is where the candle is. Let's quickly look up that quest. My goodness, and I bet the top comment would be like, this quest is located right here. I only made a Wowhead account so I could post because this quest line is stupid. After spending ages flying around, I actually stumbled across Janky on the Isle of Dorn and collecting honey. Then you get directed. Whoa. But are hidden and not actually required for the chain to be completed and give no rewards. Oh my goodness. So I have to go above? You can't find it anywhere. You still need to progress in the main quest line. The NPC then gives you a quest. Okay, that's why I can't see it. 3 druids. Fun. Wow, yeah, I actually leveled a bunch of druids as well. All of them. I actually leveled every single druid race through Remix, just because I was enjoying Remix so much, and I just wanted the opportunity to get some more of the transmog and stuff. So I said, why not do it by leveling? And then least if we have every druid, if I ever feel like changing up a druid form, I could always just hop on that max level druid. But I've been playing this guy for a while. But it's just fun to just know I have the option now. Yeah, I think a lot of people, myself included at first, were very anxious and apprehensive to try something like Mythic Plus because people are pretty mean, to put it nicely. But there's a camaraderie that happens, I think, when you're running with friends, where the pressure's not there. I guess you begin to look at it a little bit differently. But maybe that's not for everybody, you know. You may still try and say this is the worst thing in the world, so it definitely isn't for everybody. But I certainly think having the right people really changes the experience. I guess that could be said for everything, but I don't know. It feels like day and night when I do Mythics with Pugs or when I do it with my friends, because we're all in Discord, we're laughing, my one friend's explaining the fight, you know, someone has to AFK for a second, like it's just, I guess there's not the preconceived notions of being kicked or having to piss people off. Oh man, Remix is insane. Remix was nuts. Remix felt a little bit like a fever dream. It was so silly at times. The damage you were doing was insane. The numbers, how quick leveling was, it sort of felt like a bit of a fever dream in a good way. Where it's just like, if you weren't there, you just don't get it. You just don't get how, like, in my opinion, how special it felt. There was just like a novelty that we all experienced at the same time. It was like a shared novelty we were all experiencing. I made a video about how like special it was to me, just because I hope Blizzard recognizes that it was like truly a unique experience. It really felt different from WoW, but it still felt like WoW. And I don't want Remix to be like what WoW is in the future. I just always want it to be like a silly option that we can get to look forward to, maybe like a few times a year between X packs or whatever. Like it's a fun little bonus thing. Pacify the rowdy participants. Oh, because I got his brass knuckles, that's why. Alright. Let's go punch some, let's go get into some bar fights, bar brawls. Is it underneath? Is that where? I guess that would make sense. Yeah, because it's a keg. That makes sense. Yep. Alright, let's go get into a fight. Brass knuckle sandwich. That's so funny. Stance him on the table. My god. Point taken. That's so funny. This. Did I just get another follower? My god. Thanks. Holy moly. That's crazy, man. Thank you for the follow. What is happening today? Thank you so much. I'm happy to hear that. Just thank you one more time for the follow. That's super, super kind. I can't express my gratitude enough. It's crazy that anyone even found this Twitch, I'll be honest with you. So thank you. But, what I wouldn't do for Legion Remix, not that all Remix wouldn't be fun, and any expansion of Remix would be fun, but Legion just had so many crazy systems that if you had, like, if somehow, and I don't know how, but if you could, like, weave together the artifacts with, like, the craziness of Remix, so you have, like, the abilities or the legendaries, plus, like, the insanity of Remix, it's just like insanity on, and that's what I think Remix should be. I don't care about balancing, I don't care if, like, one class just destroys everybody else. Just give us that. Give us the insanity of Remix. Just let the sky be the limit with, like, craziness. I don't need balance in something that's meant to be just silliness like that. And I know people will be pissed off by that take. They're like, well, it sucks to be at the bottom of the barrel. It's like, yeah, but, like, the bottom of the barrel of Remix is still, like, soloing raids. Like, it's still... I played a whole bunch of classes in Remix, and I maxed them all out in gear, and on all of them, even the weaker ones, it's like, this is insane. Like, this is crazy, the damage you're doing. That's what I think people don't understand about, balancing is, first off, there's no such thing as, like, everybody on an even playing field. It's just not possible. You always need to have a rock, paper, scissors mentality, where someone's going to be countered, but that person can be countered by someone else. So it's always like that cycle of life and death kind of thing. But at the same time, even if it's, like, pretty well balanced, there still has to be, like, a hierarchy. Even like, 99.9% balancing still mathematically has someone at the bottom and someone at the top. And I don't know a way around that. And I think people just don't like to know that mathematically they're at the bottom, even though if they didn't read it on a page, they wouldn't know, because playing it doesn't feel like it. My friends, God bless them, they hate when their class is like performing worse than like another class. And I never look at those charts, and I don't feel any different. It's not like I don't get invited to things. I have the same item level as them. I still do the same content as them. I don't really care. I just do it, and I don't really notice a difference anyways. I think having the data sometimes, more often than not often, can have a negative impact than a positive one, personally. But that's just my take. Because I can't really do anything with the data. That's I guess what I mean by that. Unless I'm willing to switch classes because it's telling me that something's better and I care that much.
Always another task.
Yeah, because seeing a demon hunter fly through a dungeon in 2 minutes was insane. It certainly was. It was. And I hate to admit it, but I didn't play demon hunter that much. I played a monk a lot, and I played a warrior a lot. But even my warrior and my monk, they flew through dungeons. It was nuts, because you had the heroic leap, you had the blink, you had the Worgen sprint. It was like, it was insane. Okay, so we're not gonna do that quest. That's not done yet. Whoa, look at this! I wasn't expecting any of that. Okay. Okay. This does not look underground. If you're going to do underground, this is how you do underground. Because this, it is underground, yes, and it feels underground. I lied, I know I said it didn't feel underground, but it feels underground in a way that doesn't feel claustrophobic or dark or dingy or just boring. There's so much here that it almost feels like, even though it's the same zone, it feels like almost like a different zone, which I think is really neat. Because Zarelek Cavern, my biggest complaint is that everything just felt the same, and it got boring really quick. But this feels like there's a lot going on. I wasn't expecting this, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like that so far. Yeah, I just want grass. Just like, if you're gonna force me underground, just give me some grass. But how do I get in here? Where do I need to? I see I need to get here somewhere, but where is... Alright, let's look at the quest. Wrench. Is it on the ground? I'm trying to go in somewhere, and is it on the ground? What is this? Ooh, nice. It says it's right here. It gets better. Cool, I'm thrilled. Right up here? Oh, goodness. I'm dumb. I'm looking for an entrance and something I need to pick up. This is an add-on I got, I believe. Someone told me to download this, where it gives you the descriptions for all the items you pick up. Adds a little bit more lore to the game. I believe that add-on is called... I think it's the add-on doing that. They told me it's the add-on doing that. I don't know if it is or isn't. They just said download this add-on, it makes the game a little bit more immersive. And it's called, whichever one is turned on here. Should be here. Maybe the add-on's not even turned on. Maybe that is just the game. Yeah, I don't even see it here now. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. When I first got the X Pack, they're like, this add-on is gives you more lore about the game. So I just bought it. I just got it for free. You know, add-ons are free, whatever. Yeah, I don't even see it here. Who knows? Who knows? I gotta ask now. I'll quickly check. Let me check. I thought I downloaded it in CurseForge, but I don't see it here now. But I thought the way they explained it to me is they said when you click things, it will give you a better description of the item. Maybe like as if you were to read it on Wowhead. I'm looking in the right one, retail, yes. I'm just looking through my add-ons really quick. Mount Collector, Rare Trackers. So maybe it's... Could it be by the way quests? Is that what it is? Quest chains? No. Oh my god, I don't know. I don't see it now. It's strange. I thought I downloaded it. Maybe I didn't download it. Here. There is... That's an old one. Maybe item type? Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to ask them, my friends, because I don't remember the name of it now, and I thought I had it. I guess I don't. My goodness. It actually was this... I think it was this guild that I was in. I could ask this guild right now, because I think it was this guild. So I guess that was the base game that was giving me all that stuff, but this whole time I thought I had an add-on. See if they say anything. We'll see what. So right down here, maybe in the corner, or is it above? Maybe it's above. Oh, am I stuck somewhere right now? Is it up? Is it like up, up, up? Is it really up? Wait a minute. Is this? Oh, okay. So that's a ceiling. Understood. Oh, that's that guy. I was looking for the item to pick up. I heard about that from a YouTube video, but I don't remember the name. Darn, so I'll have to find the YouTube video. God, I cannot type the life of me. Cool, so this guy's dead. Next quest. The panda. You know about Japanda? There's a glyph there. Oh, here's the next quest. Yeah, we'll fight you. I could fly away, but we'll fight you. Sort of like a naked mole rat kind of thing, or a mole. Okay, now this quest, reassured. What is? There's another one here? Oh, right here.
Begin speaking.
You must be the problem solver I've heard about. I often patrol the Terrans, my fellow Earthen, an offering of Cinderbrew. Recently, however, I've drawn the attention of a local species of moles. They have a nose for sweets and greedy claws for all else. So just kill some moles.
Stay productive.
Yes, sir.
Look at this mess. Beaten back and battered with nothing to show
Run,
for
flee,
it.
they're coming. What happens if you tell them to run away? Flee. Okay, fair.
Returning to work. Stay productive.
Better you than me. Okay, so you can use that.
Interruption.
I don't suppose he sent any reinforcements.
Please.
No, he certainly didn't.
Remain vigilant.
Alright.
Another interruption.
Run. But who are you? What are you doing here? I've got a job to do.
Acknowledged.
Alright, 3 out of 3. I was curious what other options you could choose.
We're engineers and crafters, not soldiers.
Just good.
Thankfully, Outlander, we have you. Let's scout the mines.
Cool. There's a glyph thing around here. Oh, right there. I knew it was around here somewhere. I kept seeing that thing pop up. That was easier than the other one I was looking for. Okay, let's do... What quest is this now? Oh. Is it right here? Oh, it's the... I see. Okay. The moles. And the hookworms, it looks like. It says hookworms? Honor Earthen. I'm an idiot. I thought I saw a worm somewhere. May you rejoin us soon. That's sad. So they'll come back from the dead, though, I guess. They're not dead, they just sort of shut down. They go into like a stasis. After this, I'm so sorry to be a, I have a weak bladder, but I'm gonna have to quickly just go bio really quick, pee really quick.
Please, proceed.
All that coffee and water and everything else. It'll be like 30 seconds, hopefully. A little longer than 30 seconds, but not bad. Alright. Where are we? Why are you still standing here? The answer is twofold. Normally our people would return to the vault for processing. When our time comes within the vault, about working order, it's become full, waiting on the earth, and I see. Friends have chosen place stasis. I see. So it's like the other guy's quest. He's like, screw it then. If it's not working, I'm going to choose where I want to be for the stasis. I have provided a comfort and beauty. There's been a sort of calling, with many earthed into the green, and growing spaces as of late. Yeah, interesting.
Returning to work.
It's a very fascinating storyline. I wonder who wrote it. Feels very Damned Organol is actually pretty... Yeah, it is pretty. It seems like a little bit, the plot points and the storytelling seem a little bit more professionally done than previous expansions. Almost like the person that wrote this, or the people that wrote this, have a greater understanding of, like, actual storytelling. Like, they sort of went to school for storytelling, as opposed to just someone just like, yeah, this happens, and this happens, and this happens. Not that you have to go to school for storytelling, but like if you want to be a writer, you practice your craft a little bit more. Skylar. Hey, Skylar. Is it chest? Right there. I wonder if you can tame these guys. I feel like you can. It's just weird because they're in the water. So they come out of the water, I guess. Oh man, that's very kind. I didn't want to bring it up to put you on the spot. That's why I said like at a later date. I just thought I wanted to give you the opportunity just to let you know it existed. That way, if you ever wanted to join, the opportunity's there. So if you're around and someone else is around or I'm around, we could run stuff, you know. I thought it'd be really fun if eventually, if we have enough people, we could sort of go back through the expansions and do like these achievements, like the raid achievements, because a lot of the raid achievements, I think starting with Lich King, offer things like mounts, which I think a lot of people probably don't have, and a lot of it requires coordination. Sort of stuff like Stuff like this, I believe. The meta achievements. So I think it'd be a way to get a lot of people mounts that maybe they wouldn't otherwise be able to get because it would require a lot of coordination. Some of it you can solo, but some of it requires a few players. Not just that, but like things like RBGs. I wanted to do rated battlegrounds for so long, but I feel like I stink, and I would hate to drag a whole team down. But if we got a bunch of people that are all just like screw it, whether we win or we lose, we still get honor. It's fun. Let's try to figure it out. I think everybody would feel a little bit more at ease and would be able to enjoy themselves a little bit more, versus being with a bunch of like sweaty tryhards. Holy moly! Did I just get another follower? Jeez, thank you, man. That's crazy. I don't know how I'm riding the wave today. What? I'm in the pocket of the algorithm or something. It's very strange. Thank you so much for the follow. It's 3 follows today. That's insane. My goal was just to hit 10. I thought it, like 10 people follow. That's insane. So I think now we're like 12 or 13. It's nuts. Thank you so much.
Candle King is crazy, forcing kobolds into war, but many want peace.
Candle King? Perhaps we face a common foe.
Skitter! That's the dude they're talking about that becomes the NPC, I think. And he's supposed to sound like Gollum, right? He sounds like Gollum.
Task resumed.
This is the dude, I think. They said that if your quest isn't popping up, it's because you need this guy, and then the quest should pop up. I think it's this guy. So many earthen fell when the kobolds took this mine. Worse than that, those who fell were left to crumble where they were dropped. There was no attempt to recover them. We couldn't provide closure or respect for their memories. Why did we forsake them? We will not fail them again. Okay. That's very nice.
Her name is in the archive.
The first step to stemming our losses and retaking the mines is straightforward, if unpleasant. Without minions, this Candle King will be less of a threat. So just murder all of his people. Gotcha.
May the deeps continue to ring.
Kobolds take candle seriously, wax even more. Yeah, I never knew what the importance of the take candle thing. That started in like a storm, or not storm, but Elwyn Forest. We steal candles from Candle King. We make him look weak. Bully that looks weak loses control, gets dead. It's funny how the kobolds are like sort of dumb, and they sort of talk like that. They make for fun characters.
Candle King, then perhaps the raids on Gundergaz will cease.
There was something else that spoke like that as well. Was it the Wolvar, maybe? The Wolvar or the Oracle? I think it was the Oracle and the Wolvar. They said, like, big man, hit thing with stick. Kill enemy. We give you reward now. So they would talk like that. I think it was them. They would speak like that. Sort of like primal, sort of. Or not primal, I don't know. Primitive, maybe. I don't know. They sort of understand language, but like barely. Because these dwarves are talking with like the nuance that like we all talk with. They're like clearly a lot more advanced than the kobolds. And I think that's all the time from a lore perspective. Like just this cat coming in and just tearing everything to shreds. It's just silly. I don't know. Seems so brutal. I just imagine like they actually go into the lore. Oh, that's sick. Okay, that's sick. Because I never knew what the obsession was with the candles. Just don't ask where they get their wax. I'm curious. Whoa, look. Okay. What in the Elden Ring is that? Seriously, dude. That is like... That... that is the most Dark Souls looking thing I think I've ever seen in World of Warcraft. Something about this particular gemstone feels important. Perhaps it would be worthwhile bringing it to the speaker. Let's hand this in really quick, because it may lead to another quest that's also here. Usually, not usually, but often that will happen. I'll do all the quests and I'll come back, hand this one, it's like, okay, now go back and go do that. It's like, I should have handed that in first.
I attend to the archive.
When Earth goes into stasis, we sometimes use a memory gem to witness their final moments.
Return if you have more queries.
It's like an episode of Black Mirror, the way the gems work, where, what was the episodes? Okay, so sort of spoilers for Black Mirror. I won't get too much into the details, but there's a world where, like, you put this thing in your eye, and everything you experience is recorded forever. So you can't get away with anything, because anything you ever do, whether it's illegal or not, at some point, has been recorded, so everybody can see it. And it's sort of the same thing with these gems, it seems like. If it stores all your memories, then, like, it's hard to get away with anything, because at some point anyone can just access it and see everything you've done. And I always I think about that from, like, the perspective of, like, Elon with this, like, Neuralink and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's cool to have, like, a chip in your brain, but, like, at the same time, if it accesses the internet, then it also means the internet accesses you in a sense. And, it's just interesting that, like, and I think a movie or show did this. Maybe it wasn't Blade Runner, but I think there was something that said, like, we don't like the mechanized people. Like, they almost treat it like it's a new race. Like, those people that accept technology and put it in their brain, we don't like those people. Those are the people that we don't trust, and we don't want them near our kids. And it was a movie or a television show or something where society was split by people that accepted the tech and became like androids, and people that wanted to remain, like, completely organic. And I don't remember what that was from, but I thought that was a really cool concept. Where, like, there's like a smaller group of people. The majority of the society became, like, one with tech, but the other group is like, no, we like our bodies, we like our autonomy, but it seems like society is trying to force you to just become, like, integrated with tech. But what's definitely going to happen is this Neuralink's going to exist, lots and lots of people are going to get it, probably younger generations. And at some point, some kind of hack is going to go out, and all these people's brains are going to get, like, some kind of a virus. It just, there's no way it's not going to happen. There's just no way. So that's, like, my biggest sketch, is, like, we're putting, tech just seems too vulnerable still to, like, start messing with, like, your actual body when it comes to it. Like, my biggest fear, like, my understanding of, like, things like pacemakers, stuff like that, or, like, insulin pumps, is, like, some of them I think can now connect to Wi-Fi or something along those lines, Bluetooth or something along those lines, I thought, so you could give readings digitally. That's my understanding of how a lot of this newer tech works. Like, you can sync it to something to get readings in real time, to monitor if anything's changed. But if it can communicate to tech, then that means tech can communicate to it. And I wonder, and I thought this had happened in the past, maybe I'm wrong, I thought there was, like, a hack, though, on pacemakers or something, or the data related to pacemakers or something, that happened in recent years, which sort of sketched everybody out, because, like, we never considered that, like, this technology, which is inside of us, could make us a little bit more vulnerable. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but I don't think that people could stop the pacemakers through the tech, but I think they had access to the medical data that the pacemakers was giving to wherever it was sending it. I think it was something along those lines. And the hackers, I think, said, like, we have this data and we're going to publish it unless you give us money for releasing it back to you. Something along those lines, I thought. But I could be misremembering a little bit. It's how zombies are going to be made. You're not wrong. I mean, it certainly opens up, like, the ethical question. Like, when we start putting machines inside of us and becoming one with the machine, I think the biggest ethical question would be, like, what should people have what should the companies or organizations have access to? Because right now they steal a lot of your data, or they don't even tell you they're taking your data, or they do tell you, but, like, you know how it is. People don't like that. Everything you track, every website you go to, everything that you do, they monitor. So when they're inside of you, will they be able to sell this person looks like they're, based on their eating habits or based on how often their heart rate spikes, they're less likely to survive. So this person, we can sell that data to the insurance company. So when they try to buy insurance, we can say, well, your insurance company has data to prove that you're not going to live very long, so they're going to charge you higher premiums. Like, is that how it's going to be used against you? Like, well, according to this tracker that we have inside you, which you agreed upon. You wanted the Neuralink. Remember, you said you wanted the Neuralink, but now that you have it inside of you, we can track your blood pressure and see you get stressed out very often. And you're probably a smoker, which decreases your life by so much. So if you do want to get insurance, it's going to cost you this much, and we have the data to back it up, and you can't deny it. I just think, like, that's, you know, they're going to use tech against you. They're going to make it seem like it's a feature, but they're going to use it against you. Or maybe it's just paranoid delusions. But to be honest, if I was in their position, I would use it against you. Not that, like, want to be a bad guy, but, like, if my goal is to make money or appease my investors, that would be a good way to do it, right? That's a lot of the time, I think, when we attribute evil or malice to companies or organizations, often it's not actual evil. They're just trying to make a profit. And sometimes it comes at the cost of, like, ethics. But it's not like they're intentionally just doing it for the sake of evil. They're trying not to get fired. They're trying to keep a profit. They're trying to make their investors happy so they don't lose their job and someone doesn't replace them. Because if Jim at Ford doesn't lie about the emissions and tries to hide it, then someone will just fire him and hire someone that will. That's sort of what it's like. And that's just sort of how it is. So when you read, like, the Boeing CEO lied and people died because of it, you're like, it's horrible, how could you do that? And I agree. It's horrible, and how can you do it? But if he didn't do it, he would get fired and they would hire someone that would. So he just did it because he's like, if I don't do it, someone else will. I may as well collect the money. So that's all. So it seems like it's a bigger institutional problem than just, like, an individual thing. And I guess that's why I'm a little bit hesitant with tech. To come back, to reel it back, like, what does that have to do with tech? I guess they've already shown that they can't be trusted. There's just things like websites and internet, let alone, like, literally having access to, like, our innermost personal thoughts. Like, who am I going to give that to? Meta? I'm giving that to Zuckerberg? Or Elon? Or, or Jeff Bezos? As if I haven't given them enough already?
And that's all the raise hygiene of the quality of earwax.
That was certainly an exhaustive list. I would never have imagined all the uses of mammals' waxy secretions.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
You remember, I'm helpful.
I know he sort of sounds like Gollum, but he sounds like someone else as well, and I don't... It almost sounds more like something else, and I don't know what it sounds like. It's a cartoon character, I think. It's definitely Gollum, for sure, but I thought it was something else as well.
May your cogs hold true.
The earth and above us have their own rituals and remembrance, and the machine speakers have procedures in place. Jeez. I see, so we're just putting up, so this is just,
May the deeps continue to ring.
To remember those whose lives have been lost. Retrofitting equipment left behind when the mines fell.
Conversation terminated.
Muscle for Candle King. Rebuilds Earth and Gears for wars. So kill the muscle. Okay, get his keys. Kill the muscle, collect keys. King is probably next.
And destroy the rigs he stole. They could spell disaster for Gundergaz.
Gundergaz. Goodness. Is this not a delve, is it? No, just a quest. So I think maybe we'll finish this quest and then we may call it a little bit. Because I still have some stuff to do tonight. I'm shocked. God, it feels almost feels like a disservice to get off just because you guys have been so kind to follow. My goodness, I wasn't expecting any of that, I'll be honest with you. But full transparency, I have a pet snake. He got, unfortunately, fell under the weather, got a little bit sick, so I had to take him to a veterinarian, and I did, and the vet gave me some antibiotics to treat him with, and they're actually injectable, intramuscular, which I've never done anything like that before. So when I get off here now, I'm going to quickly have dinner, and then I have to prepare his antibiotics, as well as give him a bath. It's like a whole thing. I have to take care of him, so it's a bit of bit of a thing, I guess, bit of an event, because I have to take him out, I have to give him a bath, then I have to apply some medication, then apply another medication, and then give him his antibiotic. Reptiles are very sensitive, so you have to sort of approach it very methodically. That's why, like, there's so many steps involved. That's also why I was sort of debating getting off sort of shortly, because I still have to make dinner and then care for him. But I definitely want to start streaming fairly regularly. I'm trying to figure out a schedule, but I haven't figured out what that would look like, just because I think in order for me to have a schedule, I'll need to start, like, in a sense, building my life around, not building my life, but scheduling my life around when I'm also going to be online, which I don't have a problem with, because I enjoy this very much. It's like any other hobby. You would do the same thing if it was knitting or playing hockey with your friends or whatever. You would make time to do it, but I just need to figure out what that time would look like. But it seems like around this time, when we did it, maybe like 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 on a Friday, is definitely a good day. Well, certainly I can't say it's not, because my goodness, you guys all showed up, which is nuts to me, but it seems like this is a time where it would definitely be easy for me to do it, and it would sort of fit in with my schedule so far. So, but I don't know the rest of the days. I don't know how many days in a week. I don't know. But I'd like to ideally have a schedule, just so you guys that were so unbelievably kind enough to follow at least know when I'll be on. If you want to come in and like chat and hang out and stuff. I don't want to just show up sporadically. I want to sort of have, so you guys know, like, when to expect me, I guess. Also, if we're going to be doing, like, coordinated events and stuff, it would sort of help so you guys, so everybody knows when to be on. But that's also something, like, for coordinated events, it may not even always be on stream, because if we all can find a time that works for us that is maybe at a different time, what am I saying? I guess if we're going to do it, I'd probably stream it anyways, but maybe when we get more people, we can start coordinating events on a time that works for everybody. But generally, it seems like weekends are a little bit better for things like that. For everyone, for the most part. I appreciate that. And I'm definitely going to get some feedback too, like in the Discord, like you're part of the Discord, so I'm sure we can all chat like that too, and see if there's like a time that really works, when like a lot of people can be on. Then I'll try to see if that's something that also works for me, and then maybe we can... Everything's copacetic. Okay, I think that's the quest. Also, we'll hand him in, and maybe we'll call it for now. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Anything special planned? I appreciate turning on the notifications. That's very kind. I hope I'm going the right way. I think I am. Alright, let's just run. If you guys want to follow me all the way up, you can follow me all the way up, but I'm going to keep running to the quest. Until you stun me. That's so painful. Alright, let's fight. That's frustrating. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And fly up.
You have keys? Keep eyes out for shinies.
The machines must be preserved.
Now that we have the keys, it's time to take the fight to the Candle King. Okay, we'll quickly fight the Candle King. We'll call it after that, I guess. That's good. That's a good way to do it. We'll wrap this quest up, wrap it in a nice little bow. Oh, that's wonderful. That sounds like a lovely weekend. I hope you have a wonderful time. Oh wait, is the Candle King in the dungeon? There's no way. Dungeon? Retaking the mines is probably... Oh, there. Okay, never mind. So it's not a dungeon.
You do in my mind. Run round, steal candle, kill kobold. I'm Candle King.
Delve. Very cool.
Snout, leave new friends, early mental present, and close door behind.
That's a fun little boss. That guy. I've never seen a big kobold like that, so that's really neat. May as well pop the coolies. Why not? We're gonna call it soon anyways. Just bleeding out while I'm waiting for that thing. You know what? Just let him bleed out. There you go. Cool.
You have my...
Candle King is cruel, but very strong. Too strong to attack like this.
Your new kobold friend might give some better ideas. Oh, so it's one or the other. Your ranged attacks, well, it's not ranged, it's right there. Your melee attacks have a chance to set target ablaze. Interesting. That is pretty good. Wow. That's, I love equip trinkets so much. Ranged attacks have a chance to send a vengeful flame towards dealing fire damage when it reaches them. Spirit grows, it travels towards target. Interesting. Yeah, that sounds like a great trinket. Oh, and it upgraded. Nice, we got speed bonus too. Very nice. There you go. 502.
My candle, not lit.
Before take the mines, my people live in great city. Candle King's bullies run it now. Everyone loves pamphlets. We draw real good. Okay. So we're dropping the pamphlets, I guess, to get people to rebel.
No take anything I no take. Chris show kobolds and warrens they no need Candle King.
It seems
Right.
I underestimated the problem. And you, Skitter.
That's so funny. Well, that's such a silly
At least
quest.
you take action, Stonehead. That's better than other Earthen.
My goodness. Ugh. I know I said I'd call it. My goodness. We'll go for a few more minutes. It feels wrong. I feel bad because you guys are so you guys are so kind to be here. You know, it does sincerely mean it a lot.
Prince and Skitter find a good place to set up. Flare out. We're friends, right?
Oh, that's neat. You run through there.
Kobolds built great city. Big town.
So silly.
Lots of room.
Oh my goodness. I was wondering how this would work.
Jobs too. Candle making, wax harvest, scrap salvage. Money.
And what a silly quest.
Used to be happy place. Now bullies and fear everywhere.
Wow, look at this. So cool. It looks so neat. Their city. That's very neat. I was not expecting that. Ooh, there's a rare there. I didn't even see the rare. Where is it? Oh, right here, I see. In the cave? Yes, sir. Whoa, that's a big boy. Holy moly. Oof. Why is he dying? Oh, there you go, okay. So he just leaves, he's gonna leave something now, like treasure or something? That wasn't even the rare. I'm an idiot. That was the quest. My god, the rare's right over here. I was so confused. Is it above me? It's flying or something. That's the rare. Good god, man. I was so confused.
I am out of range.
How do you get him? Alright, what if you go over here? It's so annoying. Alright, I'll fly up and get him. For sure, will do. So, anyone else that's watching, if you're on YouTube as well, or wherever you are if you're watching this, if you do have Discord, you're welcome to join. It's free to join, and the intention is to just run stuff with people, build a community. If there's stuff that you want to do, that's sort of really all it is. That's sort of my only really intention with it. Coordinated events with people that have like-minded interests, of like casually playing the game, but the pressure of having to maybe get kicked. I know lots of people are maybe interested in things like Delves or Mythic Plus, but they're afraid of dealing with toxic people or being kicked. So my intention is to try to get a bunch of people that just are looking to have fun, first and foremost. And whatever we get done, we get done. As long as we're having fun, we still win. Another upgrade. But, my friends, I think with that, I should probably call it, because I gotta make dinner for the fiance and then I need to take care of my sick snake. But I don't want to make any promises, but I'd like to try to hop on tomorrow, for sure. Maybe, you know, maybe even depending on how the night goes. If I have more time tonight, maybe I'll even hop on again tonight. But I'd really like to try to hop on tomorrow for sure. But if you join the Discord, you'll definitely know when we're going live, because I have a little bot that pops up saying I'm going live. Otherwise, thank you so much for the follows. My God, I sincerely cannot express my gratitude enough for that. Really. Thank you for checking it out. I hope you had some fun. Thank you for the chatting, man. It was a blast. It was really nice to meet you. I hope you have fun. If I don't speak to you tomorrow, you know, before you hang out with your wife and daughter, I hope you have a blast on Sunday. And to everyone else watching, thank you so much again. Discord's in the bio. I hope you guys have a safe weekend, and until next time, Nolly the Gnome out. Goodbye, and peace, my friends. Cool, so maybe I'll see you tonight then. Have a great dinner, my friend.